I say this to you tonight.
G'day, my name is Simon Goss. I have finally gotten onto, I suppose, a lot of people call it contemporary learning, I now call it learning. 4 years ago we started professional development, and our staff meetings went from nuts and bolts things like should children wear their hats to more relevant things like how do we best teach and learn in our classrooms, and removing the whole idea that I'm a teacher and students are learners, that everyone's a learner.
I find the children are much more engaged. They have a much more collaborative teamwork approach to their work. As you can see, we have planning time. The children have done their planning together, and now they're set to do their work. And they know what they have to do, and they work well together.
Lately we've had a big focus on questioning, broadening questions so that we are allowing more kids, the kids that usually would sit back and not engage in questioning, to offer some suggestions. Open questioning allows for people to go along a particular path which might not have been apparent to the teacher in the planning stages. We've also got a big focus on discovery time, which means that the children are going out and they're actually learning themselves rather than just being presented with information and being told to take it in. They're going out and solving problems and being creative, developing those 21st century learning skills.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Dotter. I'm a first year education student at Charles Sturt University, and I'm currently doing placement at Holy Spirit in Lavington. When we first walked in, I thought, I don't understand how this is going to work because it's something I've never seen in any other classroom I've been in before. And after being here for 8 weeks now, I can understand how it works. It's more effective, it's more interactive and more open than any classroom I've ever been in before, and the students seem a lot more happier and at home. They can take their shoes off, they can lie across the lounge if they want, if that makes them able to understand the teacher more. We learned in class recently that being able to move around while learning is actually more effective for some students, and you can see that here. It's beneficial, and the teachers are up to date with policies and the latest studies and whatnot to encourage their students to be better. The teachers have been more than helpful here for not only students of their class but of us as well, understanding what we should learn and the best way to go about it. It's just an amazing place. It's nothing I've ever seen before, and after seeing this in placement, it makes me think I'd rather a contemporary classroom than a standard industrial one. The kids seem more happy to be here, and they socialise a lot more with not only students but teachers, and they feel very welcoming in this classroom, and so do parents. I find they're in here every morning, walking around, saying hello to teachers and other students, and it's just a great place to be.
Well, I've been teaching for 30 years, mostly here, and I can remember about 3 years ago Mark came to a staff meeting and floated the idea of removing some walls between classrooms and creating a 21st century open learning stage room. Now, I can remember at that meeting feeling quite threatened by that, and over the next couple of days after that I thought, oh, maybe it's time to move on to another school, because after 30 years of teaching I really loved having my own class in my own room. I felt secure. We didn't really have to work as part of a team. You could just run your own show, and you had your own 25, 26, 27 kids and that was the way we taught here for years. 3 years down the track, and it's been a bit of a journey, but I must say that now I'm really enjoying what we're doing now.
So I've been teaching now for, this is my 11th year as a teacher, and about 3 years ago when we were introduced to contemporary learning, it was a bit of an eye-opener. I was one of those ones who was probably interested in the changes that it was going to bring about. For me, the biggest things have probably been, well, you'll see in a moment, the open space the kids have got to go to. The fact that they can choose, not necessarily each activity they do all the time, but they get to choose their own position. So they might be sitting, lying on a beanbag, climbing in different spaces here and there.
In regards to the open learning space, the kids respect it really well now. We've taught them how to move about the place and motivate themselves in regards to getting to groups on time and that sort of thing. And yeah, it's really, really enjoyable.
The learning space in itself has been fantastic. We're really blessed with the furniture, the physical layout of the place. It's bright, it's colourful. The kids love coming in here, and there's always a vibe amongst the staff, amongst the students, and particularly parents.
In early stage 1, we are trying to incorporate Reggio, and to start with that, we started with the environment. Reggio philosophy says that the environment is the third teacher. So to help with that, we went neutral colours in tables and chairs. We removed artwork off the wall and hanging from the ceiling. And although that may sound a little strange, when teachers, students and parents walk into our room, they feel this sense of, it's quite a calming environment.
And here in kindergarten, we've taken on the philosophy of Reggio Emilia, and we've completely changed the look of our classroom, and it's now a very calm atmosphere with all very natural timbers and fibres. We have no distractions around the room like strings of artwork across the classroom.
Hi, my name's Thomas. I'm in Year 5 at Holy Spirit School. We use multiple rooms to do our work, and we do our work in rotations in groups. And we get to sit with our friends and use beanbags and sit on chairs and get to use iPads and the Hewlett Packard computers. It's really fun. I think we learn more, and it's better to sit with your friends so you can work things out together.
Hi, my name's Mackenzie. I go to Holy Spirit and I'm in stage 2. I like to do a lot of math because it's like you get to go up and you get to teach others in the way that you teach, that you get taught, and then you find your own ways how to learn.
I'm Abby McLaughlin, I'm new here, and I came here and I've come from a traditional school, and well, this school is very interactive, and we get to spread out and sit wherever we want to. We don't have special desks to sit in, and well, it's very interactive, as I said before, but yeah.
We use different forms of assessment to guide what we teach and learn. We use formative assessment, which helps us decide what we're going to teach, and we use summative assessment, which is like the assessment we use at the end of a unit that we have taught. Our formative assessment can be simple things like feedback, it can be a test, it can be a discussion, it can be lots of different things that we use to help us work out what we need to teach.
One of the advantages of the open room is that we are given a half a day a fortnight to give feedback to students, and this is really important because the kids like to know how they're going, and during that time teachers can sit down with one child and just talk about how they're progressing in maths and English and the other KLAs. The kids love it.
My name's Jess Murphy. I teach at Holy Spirit School. I've been here for 2 years now. I came halfway through the change to contemporary learning. It is amazing the interest and the drive, the motivation that the kids have got in regards to the learning. At the moment I'm actually doing a one-to-one interview with Amy. Okay, the teachers here in stage 2, we release each other to be able to do a one-to-one interview. It allows us to get to know our children really well. I've now know that Amy doesn't know her 11 times tables, so I'm just teaching her the trick and the pattern to 11 times tables while everyone else is doing literacy groups. So it's really good to be able to get the kids out to do things that are specific to them and their learning needs.
Pre and post testing, we do a pre-test before any teaching and a post-test to see what we've taught or what the children have learnt. And I cringe at the thought of the things that I taught kids 4 or 5 years ago, and I didn't have any idea of their pre-knowledge. I taught the same lesson to the child whether they were, I didn't know where they were, whether they were, an A+ student who was bounds ahead, working at the next stage, or whether they were a real battler. They probably got the same lesson, and it's a bit, almost embarrassing as a professional to think that that's what I was doing. So, but yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, but it's been a pretty powerful one. The kids see and do things which I couldn't have imagined they do. And it's kind of cool to know that in some cases I had no part in it, in other cases I can have a huge part in working with those kids who need more assistance, and some kids don't need me at all. They need me to get away. So yeah, it's been good fun.
One of the biggest improvements or eye-openers for me as a teacher is I came from a situation where I suppose I was in my own classroom doing a bit of my own thing and looking after my own end and my own children, I thought, really well. One of the biggest changes, the most beneficial changes to me as a teacher has been able to work with a group of teachers. In our stage we've got 5 to 6 teachers in here working together, planning together, sharing together, trusting each other together, letting the children move through our hands together. And it's actually cut down my workload, made my teaching far more enjoyable, helped my teaching by teaching other teachers, and as a result of that I feel far more well now as a teacher and a person even. Good luck with your journey.
We're continually reassessing what we do. We work really closely together, the 2 teachers here in Kinder. We plan our work together and we reassess all the time. Sometimes we think things are going okay, but then realise no, they're not successful, so we discuss that. So there's a huge amount of interaction with the 2 teachers to make sure that we get it right. But we're both really enjoying the change, and certainly for me it's been a huge change, but I've really embraced it and really enjoying it.
Before we started our contemporary learning in our school about 3 years ago, we did a lot of individual planning, we did a lot of individual teaching, so we're sort of in our classroom and that was it. But now, loving it, a lot more interaction with other members of staff and a lot less time planning for everything, because we all have our KLAs that we plan for and then we bring it all together and work together. So we're saving a lot of time, but also we're able to put a lot more effort into the KLA that we're working on.
Okay, my name's Sean Michael and I've been teaching for 25 years, both from stage 3 right down to early stage 1, because it's important to move around and I guess go through that change that is important in education. I guess I came into this open plan learning quite hesitant initially. I did come from a traditional 4-walled classroom where I felt pretty safe, and I guess I operated as an island for many years in quite a few schools. I guess the leadership from Mark drove us, or probably pushed us out of our comfort zones into this open plan, 21st century learning and teaching. The learning's been a big part, not just for the kids, but for me professionally. And at this point, we've been doing it now, we're in our 2nd year of it, but I really couldn't see myself going back into the traditional classroom. I had lots of questions initially about probably not just the ideology, but the practicality of teaching this way. and they've just been ironed out. We've adapted and changed things as we've I guess gone along the journey, and we continue to change what we're doing, the way we do it. I think the biggest aspect for me has been working as a team. There are 5 of us working together, and it's just been so much easier. From the roots of programming, I was used to trying to program and plan and assess and evaluate every key learning area on my own, and now it's a lot simpler. We have one work program that we all contribute to, and just that the professional dialogue, I guess, has really been of great benefit to me professionally, personally. We're becoming really good at making everyone toe the line, and everyone does share the load equally. And just the ideas that you come up with from each other, learning from each other and with each other, unbelievable. We're able to share, I guess, our level of expertise. In the wing, I teach all of the HISI for all of the children. So I program it, I plan, I teach on a rotational basis, I assess and I report on HISI. Someone else does the creative arts, someone else does the science, so it just makes you do things more thoroughly, and I'm finding a lot more enjoyment from that. I don't want to move.
Hello, welcome. I'm Sue Hayhoe. I've been here at Holy Spirit for a long time, but I've actually been teaching for about 33 years. I had a little bit of experience last year where we were just introducing contemporary learning in a different stage. This year I'm in stage 3. One of the important things that I've found is that you've just got to be very open-minded. I feel as though I'm a work in progress, but you just learn new things all the time. Some of the crucial things are definitely teamwork. Talking to, here in stage 3 we actually have 3 classes, so we work together, we chat a lot in the mornings, also in the afternoons we discuss things, planning. It's something that you just keep needing to practice all the time, and as I just mentioned, being very open-minded and just trialling new things. Organisation is crucial, and also talking and preparing the kids too in a different way. I'm finding that you just need, one of the things, we're in the middle of maths at the moment, and I don't prepare any of the maths, but I teach it to the kids the 5 hours a week, and you've just got to be prepared to have a go. That's the crucial thing, I believe.
We're really fortunate to have such a great resource, and the ideology that drives it, from the professional reading that we've done to help bring about that change, to our ongoing development, reading, learning together, questioning, trialling, and readjusting what we're doing, just so that our practice is continually improving.
During this period we've had lots and lots of professional development, both here at the school, and we've been down to Melbourne and visited the school down there twice. We've also been across to St Monica's, where they have embraced the Reggio Emilia philosophy. And on Saturday, Tanya and I are going down to Melbourne to listen to one of the gurus of Reggio Emilia, Carlo Rinaldi.
Went to a staff meeting and Mark said that our motto for the year would be Ready, Fire, Aim. We thought he was losing the plot, but after a discussion and working out that we needed to actually get things happening and then sort it out without waiting until we thought we had everything in place, was a great idea, worked really well, and maybe that should be the motto for your school next year.
One of my favourite things about Reggio is a quote that I've read that says, "Children are not things to be moulded, but people to be unfolded."
Come down, have a look. The door's always open.